And hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Doc Taking on the Mormish. And we are going to go over some interesting paperwork that we found here not too long ago. Matter of fact, we found it yesterday, and it's just talking about their national paperwork that they like to show up there. And so we're going to go ahead. Hey, Anthony, glad you showed up, brother. And so we have this paperwork. We are going to show it to you. It is very interesting. Again, my whole point is to punch holes into all their paperwork so that way people understand that, hey, guess what? This stuff doesn't actually work. Let me go into my files here. Here we go. So this is going to be what we're showing you guys today. We go ahead and we're going to get this up here going. And we have a couple different ones. Some of these are kind of old, but they are interesting to go through. And so let me go ahead, share this with you guys. Here we go. Boom. And so, as always, we like to show this. So first off, let's look at the very top here. We got the handshakes. We have the all-seeing eye. And we have this neat little seal. Now, I've seen this seal a couple different times in different places. I believe it is part of the U.S. Army seal. And so, again, they take whatever they want, copy and paste it, Photoshop is your friend type deal. Again, we have here the Moorish National Republic, the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World. Again, this document is nothing more than a waste of ink and paper. They are not Aboriginal. They are not Indigenous. They hold nothing. And what you guys are really going to love here is I've started working on some background information on Timothy Drew, Mr. T-Dog himself, the big noble Drew Ali. And there's a part in this that is just going to drive you mad, insanely laughing on the floor, I believe. When I read this, and we'll get into this as well, I'll get more into him and just show you how delusional this whole group is. So let's get into this. So this is what is called a writ in the nature of discovery. Okay. So what they're doing is they're sending this here. It looks like going to a lawyer or a law firm here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually going to an apartment. So here we go. Now, this is going to be a lot of gibberish. This is word salad. Hey, Ice Angel, nice to have you here. Anthony, glad to have you guys here with me today. And so in this, it's their whole demeanor. Well, awesome. This stuff is just crazy. So we're going to start right here. The first thing they're asking is please mail to the plaintiff the following. They want a certified and verified office copies of all related documents, contracts to the land of my foremothers and forefathers by inheritance of Northwest Amexa. First off, Amexa isn't even a word. True Science 151 has brought this up several times. It means nothing. It's not even in the dictionary. At least if you type in North America, you can actually get a dictionary definition from Oxford Dictionary. And so he goes, and then hyphen North America alleged to be located at. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we're in North America. We have South America below us, and North America is Canada and Mexico and us. So again, the delusion is there. Northerly by the highway. So what they start doing is they like putting in coordinates and northerly by the highway, and they call it all the dimensions. I'm not going to go through that. That's ridiculous. So they have all that, and then it goes in here, or schedule a meeting, an opportunity for the plaintiff to make a physical inspection of the following documents and enable the plaintiff to verify and witness the same. This is a lawful demand and request under the rule of discovery. No, it's not. Their piece of paper is not legally binding. It's nothing more than them trying to intimidate somebody and get somebody like, oh my God, we better do this, because if we don't, all right, they work on fear, and they forget who they're sending these documents to. They're sending them to very smart individuals 90% of the time. And even if that person isn't so smart to read up on what's going on, guess what they're doing? They're finding somebody else. They're going to their lawyer, say, hey, look what I got in the mail. Does this have, or I got delivered. So what they're saying is this is a lawful demand and request under the right of discovery and forward to you and your agency and agents, Phyllis, Falk, Estelle, some of these last names, pardon me, I can't pronounce them. The Rockville Bank, which is, they start calling out these people. They call it the CEO of the bank. They call it the governor of Connecticut at the time. Mind you, this is from 2010, so it is dated a little bit, but they still do this today. A meeting shall be set and concluded to the officiant the above stated physical examination and witnessing within 10 days of the receipt of this notice of discovery. So what they're going to say is within 10 days, you're going to go ahead and you're going to do what I'm telling you to do. No, there's no legal ramifications if you say, you know what, shredder, and down it goes. There's no legal ramification. Nothing's going to happen to you. And then again, it says, produce the following documents with all related associated instruments. They want to produce the original promissory and contract, front and back, associated with services from your agency, entity, persons to the plaintiff. So basically what they want to see is they want to see the contract for the land that was bought to build these apartments. That's what they're trying to get at. And they also want to see the rent contract. Produced a long bill of exchange or promissory note from the bank, complete with and affixations or allocations attached to the original promissory note. So again, what they're looking for is they want to see the loan. Now we're just going to break this down. Basic speak, they want to see the loan that was used to procure the land, to buy the land, to build the apartments on. Produce all bookkeeping journal entries associated with the purchase, again, of the Aboriginal Indigenous people inheritance land. They don't inherit anything. They're not Aboriginal and they're not Indigenous. None of this works, okay? I guarantee you these people couldn't trace their lineage back more than 5 generations, and not one of them came over here that are actually African to begin with, or Moroccan. I guarantee it. None of these people are Moroccan at all. Moroccans don't call themselves Moors. They call themselves Moroccans because they're Moroccan citizens. They live, their country, their nationality is Morocco. They live in Morocco, so they're Moroccans. Okay, they're not Moors. Got to remember, Moor was a term that was given to Muslims in India by European Christians. Okay, and it's actually offensive. I've reached out. We have a small mosque here in Savannah. I've even went even further out to Jacksonville, Florida, and Orlando, where they have much larger mosques. And I've asked, and I've said, hey, if somebody calls a Muslim a Moor, do you guys take offense to that? You know what their response is? Yes. I've even brought up this Noble Drew Ali, and they're leading, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're a priest per se within their religion. They said that guy is a phony. Now, here we have Muslims. I guess you could call them a Muslim scholar because, hey, that's where they are. They are the religious leader for that mosque. If you have them telling me this, then there in of itself is a problem. They don't notice or even recognize Timothy Drew. And that's what I'm calling him. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction, even in his post-existence, of calling him Noble Drew Ali because he changed his name one day and thought, well, I don't have to tell anybody. You're just going to call me Noble Drew. No, you're Mr. Drew or you're Timothy. Sound like a little boy's name. All right. They want to produce the deed of trust associated with the purchase of, again, the Aboriginal Indigenous people. To even be honest with you, and there's more proof of this coming up all the time, and I've Facts or Fiction I've spoken to him about this, and he even said it, that it goes back, because I had mentioned 15,000 years. He goes, no, it goes back even further, about 20,000 years that migration happened. And I did some research, and he was absolutely right. Native Americans, the first people that were here on this landmass before the Europeans came over, before we came over, our ancestors, okay, came over, started setting up settlements, and fought with these people. And it's sad, but if you look at how history has developed our world, our countries, land was taken and won by fights. And we just happen to have the better weapons to win. And that's how we did it. But Native Americans actually are of Asian descent. It's been proven by archaeologists who have looked at those that migrated here 20,000 years ago. And it came in 3 phases. The first phase, though, was 20,000 years. The last phase was 15,000 years. They actually are of Asian descent. If you look at their bone structure, a great example is if you take, who was I looking at and comparing? If you take somebody like Jackie Chan, who is from China, I believe he's from China, or Hong Kong, one of the two. And you look at like Sitting Bull, and you look at their facial features, you can see it. You can see it in their nose. You can see it in how their eyes are set. And even archaeologists have started to show this right here. And it's not wrong to have that ancestry. It's not. But you got to have the truth behind of where the people migrated from. And they did. The first migration was Asia and Russia. Those areas, those people that lived there migrated across the Great Land Bridge and came over here. So, yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so again, you can see it, and it's nothing bad. I think it's great. My dad is a quarter Blackfoot Indian. My stepdad anyways. And I love Native American culture and history. I love how they lived on the land, and they lived off the land, and they were very nurturing of the land. And I think that's what we need to help bring back, to help combat this global warming or the deforestations. I think we need that. People need to incorporate that in their lives. But I'll move on, because there's a whole nother section when we start going after not like Nina, that weird whacked out one, the one that thinks she's the empress. We're going to go after her here next month. And I've already reached out to the Cherokee Nation on that one. So anyways, let's go down here. So they need the deed of trust. They want to see a deposit slip. And then we need to produce the original order authorizing the withdrawal of lawful money. So again, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we need to see the deed of the land, that you own the land. We need to see the loan, the promissory note that was, hey, we're going to take this out and build this. And now they want to see the contract. They want the account numbers that were on the check. They want and produce constitutional law that delegates your agency, entity, and persons the authority to sell any of the Aboriginal, Indigenous, the AIP. Okay. Yeah, that's one woman you don't want to piss off, dude. I'm telling you that right now. But anyways, in all of this, what they're trying to do is you need to show me all the banknotes. You need to show me the loan and everything, because I need to see the constitutional laws. Yeah, that's not good either. I'm Sicilian. So if you look at my history, I'm from a conquistador, a Spanish conquistador, and an African slave. So that's what made up my race, or my heritage. So, that's even worse, because she can get pissed off. And according to what they say, redheads have no soul, so she feels no guilt if she beats on you. I digress. We'll have another conversation about that stuff later. But as you look at this, what they're trying to do is say, you need to produce all this information. We want to see the loan. We want to see the bank account numbers. We want to see constitutional law. Well, first off, You're not Aboriginal. You're not indigenous. So you own nothing. You have no inheritance. And then that's the delusion that Drew taught these people. Okay? That's the delusion that's in the Circle 7 Quran. That's what was taught. Delusion. Okay? And it's all good. I love all you guys. So again, they have this writ is the borrower's honorable and good faith attempt to clear up any instance, misrepresentation, or confusion concerning resolution in this matter before taking any further action. So what they're trying to say is, hey, this is your attempt to clear up all this before we attempt to go and file a lawsuit, which is just going to be nothing but a paper trail and a paper terrorism and a waste of time for the courts. And we're just going to waste money, and we're going to file fictitious liens. We're going to file fictitious this. We're going to file our fictitious default of judgment. That's what that's saying. And it goes on and it says, I am prepared to meet with you or your authorized representative. Forthwith, I will have counsel and witness present for the record. No. You want to meet with me? I'm going to tell you it's only for you. You don't get to bring your entourage. That ain't how this works. You keep your entourage home. They have nothing to do with this. You're the one that sent the request to me. That's how that works. A failure of your company or officer, the aforementioned entity or representative, to respond to this lawful request within the allotted 10 days of receipt of this writ in the nature of discovery will consider as an affirmation of distinguished intent, and the said failure response to the 9 above noted issues will be deemed a dishonor of this notice and demand for disclosure. Okay, and then that bullshit notice to agent, that means nothing. So, again, they're trying to say, well, if you don't respond to this, then we know that everything that we're asking for, you don't have proof of this. It is very much a threat. It is very much a threat, and that's the problem. So again, here you have, they bust out all this stuff. Here's the apartment. That all rights reserved. This right here does not pertain to them at all. And again, some weird ass territory thing they put there. But here's the thing. This is where they actually live. And it's not zip exempt. Again, they send it to the United Nations and such. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause right here. I forgot I have a maintenance guy come to do some work. And we'll pick this right up. I'm going to end this broadcast, but there will be a part 2 coming up here after the maintenance guy leaves. Thanks a lot, everybody, for showing up, and give me about an hour, and we'll be back on. This is Doc for Doc's Clinic, taking on the Mormish. Take care.